Hello there, people. Welcome back to the Eaglebyte 83 channel where the past never dies. I am, of course, your host, Eaglebyte. And tonight we are continuing in roleplay review, and we will continue in episode 28 of Blood Ties, the episode known as Ground Zero. Where we left off, the two brothers of the Burley family, well, they're pretty much the same as always. They're trying to build their community, or at least their little safe haven for now. Tonight, they're going to get an interesting call, or rather, they're going to be eavesdropping on an interesting call, and that's going to set a whole thing in motion. This episode, which we're about to see, is one of the episodes that actually was the most fun in making, because we had a goal the entire episode. We had a goal to well, basically to catch the scientists, or catch up to the scientists. Will we be able to? Well, let's find out. Here we go. All right. Let's do it. Oh, Jesus. No. For some reason, that always happens. Let me just do this and go to normal. Thank you very much. And let's restart. Thank you. Cheers. Blood ties. Oh.
One night, I was casually up doing some maintenance on my combat gear. As I tried to keep myself from going stir-crazy from the silence in the dark, I flipped through the radio channels and stumbled onto a couple of voices I didn't recognize.
So we got one more guy coming. He had to go back in and grab a few things before he headed this way. So we're waiting on him.
You said the two guys you're with, Dr. Helvig and...
Yeah, this is first time for me.
Huh, German accent on Deer Isle. That was new. I usually didn't go around with the radio on me, let alone having it receive all the time, but Rory had started keeping it on to be able to pick up on reported mutant sightings, and slowly but surely it got to be a habit of mine too. Not all the time, but definitely more frequently than usual. At least in some part it was thanks to what Cameron had shown me.
Here you can see, down in the left corner, you can see the mod that was in use here. You can actually, with the mod, I don't remember what it was called, but you could mute the radio so you could listen in, but they wouldn't be able to hear you.
About muting it so you didn't risk broadcasting over an open frequency.
Yeah.
Not that I had that much of interest to broadcast anyway, but what I was about to hear would definitely pique my interest.
And this was just something that happened, like, I just came across this conversation. Episode 28. Ground Zero.
The amount of information...
I mean, I have Dr. Carr's notes and some of the recordings he's left for me, but this is like my first mission.
I heard the name Dr. Carr being name-dropped, and I reacted. This name had been mentioned before.
Well, I think, I was also wondering, those scientists that come out of the bunker,
Dr. Carr?
Yeah, what's up with them? We haven't really...
So, they've been under the bunker since the whole outbreak started. From what I understand, Dr. Carr is immune, but the rest of them, they don't know how many of the rest of them are or aren't, because they've been breathing filtered air.
Okay.
They have to wear full-on hazmat suits. The virus itself is airborne, and they haven't had any contact with the rest of the world in a very long time. As a matter of fact, the first time they came out of that bunker, they were amazed to find any forms of civilization at all.
So, are they still there? Like, are they just locked inside, pretty much?
I don't know. The last time they came out, they traded with us. We gave them a bunch of tools and equipment for maintaining machinery in exchange for a keycard. They lived in a section of the bunker that nobody else could access.
Of course. These were the scientists who were living inside the bunker, the ones that had survived all this time since pre-fall.
These were lore important characters, just like Skylar and Warlock. The scientists were also important for the overarching lore of the server. So them coming out was a big thing. It was like, holy shit, everybody, that was like an event of a kind.
Were they coming out again?
Oh, you guys are you're the boys from the bunker?
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. I'm
Yeah, I was
Wait,
Deputy
is that
Robert.
is that Vincent? Is that Vincent that I
I
hear?
told you Vincent was here.
Oh, howdy, Vincent. It's
Oh,
Frank again.
Vincent.
Yeah.
Now there was a name I hadn't heard in a long time.
What's your name?
Vincent.
Vincent.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. What's your responsibility around here?
Oh, I'm with the Sanctuary Rangers. I'm third in command.
Oh, okay.
He'd been with the Rangers of Sanctuary. After Sanctuary fell, I hadn't known if Vincent had survived, or if he had, what had happened to him. Perhaps he'd taken up with the Riders, or ended up at Salvation. Whatever the case, it seemed like the scientists had met with him before, as they clearly knew him.
Hey, Frank.
Vincent, Dr.
Hey,
Carr
Marcus.
specifically wanted to meet you.
I know. Is he didn't come out or?
This
One
go
and one.
around since our
No,
last
that's
trip, we
Helvig.
decided it was probably a little bit too dangerous, so we sent out a smaller team out to kind of gather information. Anything scientific, just let Dr. H know. He works closely with Carr, and he's a chemist himself. So
Honestly, I have to say, I have to commend the role players on that server. At least at the time in 2022, they were really, really good, and they were really going for, like, or actually this was 2021 even, but they were really going for this big immersive story of that everything we were experiencing had a purpose. It was designed. There was something behind it, and they went into their roles very, very well. You could tell they were experienced role players.
Heard one of y'all keening for a soda there. Is that true? You guys were talking on the
Yeah.
radio.
Haven't had a fizzy pop in a long time.
Hey, if anything, you got that
Fizzy pop.
energy drink still?
Scheisse.
is it good?
Yes, that's good.
It is really good to see as many people are immune to the actual virus. That was something we were worried about. There'd be a small group of people left between last visit and the people I see up here.
I kind of have to wonder. I wonder at this time, where are they? I'm thinking maybe they are up at Cougar Town because it's a very clear signal and I'm able to actually hear it. I'm not sure how far the radios, the transceivers, can actually broadcast. I don't remember. Because this is an event, maybe they were using like a field transceiver, like the big radio. That one could like reach much, much further, as I recall. So maybe they did that in the interest of other people picking up the signal and listening into it, or listening in on it. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
There are many survivors still on the island.
I mean, Cougar Town was just basically across the water, so that was really close, and that would be my best guess, unless they were in Waldoboro, which was also fairly close.
Like with any virus, a certain percentage of people will be immune, but probably no epidemiologist is researching that because there's probably not any left.
I stayed quiet and just listened. It was rare to partake in a conversation between the scientists and the survivors of Deer Isle, and I didn't want to muddle everything up by interfering. Most of all, I wanted to know what they were going to do next, and if the Burleys might be able to assist in any way. There were 3 voices that I didn't know.
Okay, I could say here, I want to state here for the record, I know in retrospect that I could probably just have, like, unmuted and then told them to stay put, or like, can we meet you, or something like that. But I don't think that would have been like the proper way to do it. And also, I was a little bit shy here. I rarely, when there's a conversation going on over the radio, I want to like butt in. So I always prefer to just listen. And also, what would it have gained us to just say, "Hey, we're the Burley family. Can we assist you in any way?" It's like it would have been a little bit weird, like not really the way to do it. The only way to do it is to like really meet in person. So I was constantly listening for a possible location drop. That's why I was listening, and also, to delve into the lore a little bit, see if I could get any type of lore tidbit they could drop, but also location, so we could like see if we could, meet them.
One voice belonged to the German man who went by Dr. Helvig, and he seemed to be an assistant researcher to Dr. Carr himself. Then there were at least 2 others, whom Vincent had called Frank and Marcus, though I didn't know who was who. One of them, however, seemed to be speaking on behalf of the scientists as a group, and the other was not part of that group, but nevertheless came across as being capable within the field.
Are you a medical researcher yourself? You sound pretty knowledgeable.
I'm an economist, a doctor of economics, a completely useless profession anymore. But I worked with UN WHO, with virologists, epidemiologists, and other medical practitioners for a long time, so I can understand the conversations that they have. But I have run into Vincent here at the Nuclear Institute, where there are 2 nuclear physicists that live right by the nuclear power plant, kind of in the middle of the island.
Yeah, the Nuclear Institute, which later would become like a safe haven for mutants. We'll get to that. Probably. Well, not really, but it isn't important for the purpose of this series or the story.
So far from what I've seen from all the survivors I've talked to, they have been the most prominent mutant researchers on the island. And actually, Harold gave Vincent a sample that he said was from what? From Warlock himself? Was that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. He gave me blood of Warlock, and then some of the growth from the BT.
Vincent went on to explain that Harold had managed to get his hands on tissue samples from the biological growths which grew in separate places on Deer Isle. Not only that, but he had also acquired blood from Warlock himself. I wondered at first how he had managed to do that, but then I remembered how Skylar had talked about the blood bag she had stowed away. Maybe there had been enough blood left in there which Skylar could donate to Harold for the cooperative effort to counteract the spread of mutations. This was, of course, just speculation, but it would track if it was true.
It's like, I could call out to Bastion, see if any of them are awake.
Yeah, if they can possibly get us a sample of stuff he's got.
So, Dr. H, you have a PCR machine and viral RNA extraction kits and all the materials that you need to sequence a virus, computers, power, everything?
Yeah, I mean, we have a fully functioning lab, yeah. We were working on the appropriate thing to create a cure anyway.
You are exactly the person that I've been looking for since I arrived on this island then. Holy shit.
I mean, to be clear, I'm just... Yeah, I mean, absolutely. In this case, I'm more of a courier, but once I get back, I'll be working with the team if we can get to work and actually make some progress. But I have to understand the problem. So what I know is that there are some kind of big boy mutants and some other subspecies. What else? What's been going on?
The scientists went on to discuss the mutants, and Vincent informed them of the collective and how they would sometimes be heard over the radio talking about humanity's destiny and their part in it.
It's a collective. Like some kind of Gesselt consciousness.
Well, from what I've seen in my personal experience, I think Marcus, who was just talking, has probably battled them before, but I've never raised.
Very interesting. I've never thought about it. For some reason, there's an echo here. When sometimes there's not, and that's usually how you hear it. I don't know why there's an echo. The only time there would be an echo would be if there's if you have two radios active, I guess. I think, at least. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly how it works. But I never understood why there was a radio. Oh, wait. No. I know why. I just realized. Sorry. It's because all of them are meeting up as a group, and all of them have their radios on. So everybody within reach will be able to hear what they're talking about. That's why there's an echo, because they're talking into their own radios, and then their voices are also being carried to the other radios as well. So that's why there's an echo.
Right. Weapon against them, and they have never acted aggressively toward me. I had a close encounter once. It could have killed me if it wanted to, but it did not. So it seems to me that actually humans are more aggressive toward them than they are to us.
Thinking of Rory.
That is a truth with some modification. I think the Arbiters would, counterclaim that pretty violently.
And his immediate treatment of Dex, I was more than willing to agree with this assessment. Most humans seem to feel resentment towards the mutants, which was partly understandable since Warlock had essentially used normal everyday humans as lab rats, in most cases against their will. It was just starting to get interesting when Vincent suddenly cut in.
Hold up. Somebody has a radio on.
Mine is off.
Mine is off as well.
And that was it. There was no more communication being broadcast.
I wonder to this day if that was intentional or not, because the content of this discussion was broadcast so that anyone, including me, could pick it up. But I wonder if it was like intentional or if it in fact was unintentional and somebody had goofed and this discussion was not supposed to be broadcast. I, as you remember from episode, what was it, 12, I think, had made the exact same problem, or the exact same mistake. So, episode 11, maybe? 11, 12? Actually, I can just do this. Hang on. Yeah, 12. Oh, sorry. 12. So, it is easily, it happens fairly easily. And it's, it's down to the human factor that sometimes that happens. It's not supposed to happen, lore play wise, but, people goof and, shit happens. But if that's the case, then I have to wonder, because they really, ideally, should have broadcast this discussion, or they should have wanted to broadcast it, because if people hear it, they'll be more interested in the story. Now, it's completely possible that it was intentional, and then Vincent was like given a signal like, okay, let people know now that you discovered that the radios are on, because now is the time to actually cut this conversation short. So it could have been something planned like that as well.
As they seem to have shut off their transmitters. While I could only guess as to the specifics of their outside excursion, It was all very vague, and I had no idea as to where they were going next. Though I had caught their current location, the raceway beyond Waldoboro.
Oh, that's where they were. Okay. Right.
Soon after the transceiver went quiet, Rory showed up at my door, and as we prepared some breakfast, I told him about the radio conversation I'd overheard.
Did you wake up in time to hear what was on the radio?
No.
Okay.
What was on the radio?
Remember everybody's been talking about those scientists?
Yeah.
They have apparently emerged from the bunker once again. And they're discussing a cure. Like, they're discussing about maybe, like, getting a lab set up or something about, like, sequencing virus strains and whatnot. I don't know how long they're going to be out for, but I was thinking, like, it would be interesting to meet them. But I think they're pretty far away from here. They're at the racetrack, the hospital at the racetrack, apparently.
Oh, hell yeah, that's a long fucking way away.
Yeah.
I also explained how the meeting had gone over with Skylar.
She's going to have one general store, which is going to be available to various traders, and we're going to be able to lease it like maybe once a week or something like that. And we're going to be able to have it like a storefront. We might also be able to like sell some stuff.
For sure.
So
As people will probably be asking for things like, LMGs and honey badgers and shit like that.
I remember doing this with Mehdi. It was so much fun, actually, to plan what we were gonna do. You know, like, plan the opening of the storefront and all that, and, you know, like, just the giddiness I felt and can remember feeling about, like, actually creating something in this world that, like, players had created. You know, like, being a part of it. It was actually really, really awesome feeling, you know?
yeah, I know.
PDAs and code logs.
So I'm going to manage the store and I'll send you to Area 42. How about that? Like, yeah, sure. Rory, go fetch. Nah, I'm just breaking her balls, man. I have an idea. In order to look around a little bit for nails and stuff like that, maybe we should try to head for where Dr. Carr and the scientists are. We could, like, see if we can find nails on the way, but there's nothing...
Yeah, sometimes I had to, like, input, like, an editor's notice. You know, like, verbal... That was a verbal lapse. I meant to say Dr. Helvig. Dr. Carr hadn't left the bunker with the others.
There's no guarantees that they will be there still when we get there.
Yeah, but either way, I think, we should go on a nice long scavenger hunt, refill our coffers.
Very true, very true. Where is the... Oh, yeah, the hospital. I'm gonna put a marker on the hospital by the racetrack, and we can have that sort of as a focal point to go for. I mean, as I said, they might not even still be there when we're there, but when we get there, but just have it as a target and see what happens when we get there. You up for it?
Alright. Yeah, sure. I'm going to go properly geared, though. I'm going to go get fully kitted.
Alright. You'll do that.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah. Jesus, that's gonna be a long journey.
The raceway was a hitherto unexplored region by the Burley brothers. As it was located right next to the entrance to Area 42, I decided to take my brother's advice as well and equip some combat gear. While waiting for Rory by the bulletin board, I caught wind of some radio chatter over SATCOM and decided to fill my brother in while waiting for him to gear up.
Okay, there has been another development apparently. The scientists, I'm not sure that they are still by the racetrack. Apparently, they were being watched by something, and I don't know how they know this, but apparently it's called an observer.
That explains what I heard.
What did you hear?
Yeah, there was rumor going around that there's a new kind of mutant is going to be issuing from Warlock's fucking domain.
Who said this?
People up in Duskar.
Oh, great. Just great. Like the world didn't have enough to deal with mutants like the big boys, the zombie dogs, and the exploding spiders. Now there were observers. Observers? Observing what? Man, this just all felt like a horror movie Royal Rumble. The sooner this got cured, the better.
You want some guts? Because apparently my MVS magazine pouch is full of guts. For some reason.
Why? Well, yeah, why?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Side note, I said why, but I think I might have a clue as to why I had guts in that MVS pouch. I think most of this gear is the gear that we salvaged from Cameron's body, which was the out-of-character death when he was taken by Jose. Remember what I said in episode 25, Double Trouble, when the story was edited in that way that Cameron was not killed, but rather Jose took him somewhere. But behind the scenes, which I didn't include in the story, obviously, because that would create a continuity issue, Jose killed Cameron's character. Not the character, but his... him, basically, when he was there. So he had to respawn again. That body had a bunch of stuff on it, which we salvaged. But I think Rory... Yeah, that doesn't track as well, because I think Rory gave most of the stuff to Lamplight, which is where Cameron was found alive and well. So I'm not sure if that is actually where it came from. It just came to me right now that it could have been from that time. I do know, I think we salvaged some things from him. The pouch itself could have been one of those things. But I think Rory took like the best stuff, like, you know, the plate carriers and the weapons and all that, and he actually gave it to Sav up at the Ark, I think. If he even made that trip. I don't know if he did, but yeah, so I'm a little bit uncertain where those guts actually came from because Robin isn't a cannibal. He hasn't been out hunting in a while either at this point in time, so I'm not sure where that came from actually.
On the road again.
And also, why would Cameron have had a lot of guts in the MVS pouch? That also doesn't really track. I don't know where those guts came from, honestly.
We headed up into Cougar Town with the intention of resupplying.
Yeah, outdated server marker. It's supposed to say Cougar Town. I just hadn't changed it there.
Flying for our journey, and I wanted to check to see if Skylar was there too, so I could introduce her to my brother.
Good God, I didn't even see you. Like, completely quiet. Jeez. I'm like, huh! Fucking hell.
The Burley brother?
Yay,
Yep.
that is correct.
Again, I'm like very pleased that people are know about us. I don't know how our reputation has spread, but I think a lot of it has to do with the Arbiters knowing about us and being our friends that we really didn't go out of our way to befriend, but they sort of took to us nevertheless. It's a very strange ally to have because the Arbiters liked us, but we were a bit like cautious. At least when I was playing. When Mehdi continued playing after I'd left, they became much closer. But in the beginning, it was like it was a friendship that sort of was thrusted upon us, and in a way, we were kind of pleased about it because it's always nice to have a powerful ally. but at the same time, the arbiters were so unpredictable. So it was a little bit like, we're like, oh, okay. But I think also through like Skylar and Johnny and Killian, all of those people, as we introduce ourselves to them, progressively our reputation starts to circle. You know, it's really cool though to be known. It's an interesting feeling, you know.
Oh shit.
So what you doing here? Enjoying the sights?
Trying to get some.
Speaking of
some
Killian.
property back.
Hey,
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
right. Well, you folks okay? How are you enjoying Cougar Town?
Yeah, it's nice. We come for the attractions. You know,
Yeah.
we stay for the drinks.
Is Skylar around?
She's around. I don't know where she is currently, but a lot of people are asking after her.
Oh,
is it
yeah.
something that is important, or
What a surprise! A lot of people are asking for Skylar. I mean, yeah, we are too, but it's like I said yesterday, she's the main character on the server. It always felt like that.
No, it's not nothing important. I talked to her yesterday, and I was just gonna see how she was, basically. We're on our way through, actually, heading north.
oh, where are you guys heading to?
Just up north. We haven't really been looting that area.
Yeah. Here, I had actually taken Medi's advice to heart. Never tell people, even if you trust them, never tell them where you're going. So here, I remember this actually, and I noticed it now too, that I was just saying, just up north. We haven't looted that area. We didn't want to say exactly where we were going.
We need to see if we can find some more supplies.
Just go carefully.
The reason being, obviously, because you don't want anybody overhearing it who is, like, not going to be friendly. You don't want to get an ambush, you know.
Is there
And,
reports of something?
Just bears and wolves.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen a fucking bear, but
Um,
okay. What's your name, by the way?
Well, you'll see him if we go up on that mountain.
I'm Killian. Killian Darkwater. I'm a member
you're
of the
Killian
Killian.
Darkwater. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about you.
Heard
Nice
the
to
guy's
meet you.
name. Yeah.
Killian Darkwater went a long way back with the Salty Cougar, having been one of its earliest members and subsequent head of security. I'd never met him personally before, but I had heard he was a reliable guy.
It's nice to meet you as well.
I'm Robin, and
You guys
this is Rory.
residents here?
No, we're the Burley family. We're close
Ah,
neighbors,
yeah,
though.
what's going on, fellas?
Hey.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, well,
Right.
Oh,
that's much.
yeah. Hey, I need to ask you, what was your name? I forgot your name, or I didn't give it. I didn't get it.
Nah, ain't no thing, it's Johnny.
Johnny. Okay, thank you. Nice to meet you again, John.
For some reason, I kept forgetting his name. I just thought of him as the red guy. I kept forgetting his name. It was so annoying.
Johnny.
You'll see that.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed Cougar Town.
Yeah,
Doing
absolutely.
our best to take care of
Oh.
it.
Oh god. I gotta do something.
What? No. Oh. Okay.
This was okay. So full disclosure here, Medi, who's playing Rory, he wasn't feeling very well when we were playing this day. He was actually having some stomach issues, and this was him having to rest up in a bush because he needed to go to the toilet. Seriously, like he desperately needed to go to the bathroom, and it was interesting because I sort of played it off like, yeah, he's taking a shit down here, you know.
He's taking a shit.
I mean, you gotta go when you gotta go.
Bro, you alright?
Need some bad peppers or something?
I have no idea.
While Rory dealt with his, personal situation, Killian asked me about our family.
So what is the Burley family all about? I haven't heard of you guys before.
No, we're pretty small time, to be honest. But we are, well, our ongoing mission is to find the rest of our family members. That's pretty much what we're doing. But in the meantime, we're like trying to settle down, maybe create a small settlement. Right now, we're fortifying our base location, just on the other side of the water. It's gonna be called Burleyville. Eh? Eh?
Hey, it's a nice name. I mean, Cougar Town, Burleyville.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you guys trade?
We do trade. Right now, we don't really have that much. I got a lot of guts if you want it.
I mean, we could all use more guts
just
these
have
days to
guts?
fight the mutants.
Yeah.
No, just it's good to meet you guys.
Yeah, you too, man.
Really wonder.
Oh, hi there. That's Skylar over there, actually.
Oh. Oh, and goodbye.
Yeah, she. I need to actually just relay some information to her real quick.
I gotcha. I
supposed
gotcha.
to go
Hey guys, when my brother's
check
done
something
taking
out
a
with
shit,
him.
could you tell him that we're up there?
Yeah, I got
I don't know where he is.
Thank you.
Just look for him around town. Hey,
It's actually interesting. Skylar was also it's interesting because I didn't know that was Skylar because she had on a different jacket. Like yesterday she had a green jacket on, now she has like sort of a reddish jacket on. And I noticed that, and I will actually comment on it here because Skylar will also not recognize me because I don't have my cowboy hat. Some pieces of clothing, like some articles of clothing, become your iconic personal gear, by which everybody else recognizes you, and that is just something that I find very interesting. And it's also a necessity on a server like this. That's why I always try to have the same type of gear when I'm playing a character. I always strive to have similar stuff on me whenever I, die and respawn and have to start getting gear again. Like reacquiring gear.
Skylar, we've got a member of the Burley family here that wanted to say hello to you.
Hey, Sky.
What's up? I met Robin.
Yeah, it's me. I am Robin.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Me and faces and masks and...
Yeah, I tended to forget that my brown cowboy hat sort of had become part of my identity.
Yeah.
Most people seem to just not recognize me without it.
I was in talks, you might as well hear this too, Johnny. I was in talks with Robin about doing like trade agreements and stuff. So
You
I think
already told me.
Okay. Well,
All right though.
Yeah, he was there
I
yesterday.
wasn't aware of this, but this is good to know.
excellent. Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Glad that got sorted.
One of the, I think MD from the Hippie Tower wanted to speak to you. Spirit
Emmy.
relayed that to me.
Emmy.
Why
I
do
don't
people
know
have
Emmy.
such abstract names?
From the
Just
Hippie
name them
Tower.
like Bill or something. Yeah, they
I
wanted
mean,
to
your
speak
name's
to you.
Killian. Come on.
Sick burn.
Oh,
Oh, right.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you
there's
both? Oh, and lady, excuse me.
The newcomer named Yuri had armbands which I'd never seen before. However, I had been told that the 3 stars were the symbol of the General Assembly, a faction we had heard about previously, which sought to unite the entire Deer Isle archipelago under one banner.
Oh, is that the
let
General
me-
Assembly?
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
same guy I rescued.
I'm not interested.
Well, Skylar, I was just here
don't-
with my
I don't-
brother.
I
We're
don't have
actually
a car.
passing through now, so just felt like saying hello and hope that you're good. Better than yesterday, at least.
I'm really trying.
I
really
gotcha.
trying today.
All right.
Robin. Between you and me.
Yeah.
This girl's head's a mess every day.
Okay.
Way to out her
What's
like
Wrong with
that.
having your head a mess.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I just
Oh, and this is my friend Harley.
Oh, I've met one of the Burley brothers. I sold him a PU scope and something else. I can't remember.
Really? Huh. Must have been Rory then. A PU scope for his vaunted Mosin, I bet. Lord knows I didn't have a weapon that required it. I was pleasantly surprised that so many people had started to name drop us. Jones, the guys down by the intersection, and now this Harley fellow. The Arbiters might have been the first group to really notice us, but now other people seem to know about us too.
Excellent, excellent.
Hey guys, pardon my ignorance since I'm new here, but I just heard in the global radio something about sirens in Waldo. Be advised all stations bunker might have popped open. What does that mean?
Oh, fuck.
This question had me recall something which old Motormouth Matrix had shared with me. When they blared, the sirens of Deer Isle could be heard in every major city all across the region, as they were piped through speakers as part of a pre-fall air raid alert, and these days they were usually heard in connection with the bunker opening and closing. This had come about as sort of a jerry-rigging of the scientist teams themselves. In anticipation of life being scarce across the island, the sirens acted as a notification system for any and all survivors to make their way up Mount Katahdin when they sounded. This way, the scientists would know that any survivors would be alerted to their emergence and expected people willing to help them in their endeavors to show up at the bunker. This question reminded me of what me and my brother had set out to do in the first place: locate the scientists. Now, it very well may be that the scientists were long gone at this point. Hell, it was almost guaranteed. Still, it wouldn't do to just stand around here. The raceway beckoned, and I felt we needed to get going.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna go down to my brother.
Okay,
He's taking a
well.
severe shit. But it was nice meeting you again. We'll talk later.
Thank
come
you.
on, you
Sorry,
didn't have to
today's
let
just,
everyone
I've
know about
gotten
that.
so much news today.
That's no
I'm
worries.
overwhelmed right now.
No worries.
Yeah, I think I just need a moment to
Yeah.
recollect here.
Do that. Take care, and I'll see you.
Guys,
I'll see you later.
Okay, thank
You seen
you.
Hugo?
Good to meet you, Killian.
Yes, he was just
Yeah,
here.
nice to meet
Maybe he's.
You
where'd
too,
he
Yuri.
go?
And Harley. And
Killian.
You too.
Bye, Robin,
And-
and bye, Robin's brother. Wherever he went.
and again, what was your name?
See?
It's Johnny.
Johnny. Thank you. I swear, next time I'm gonna know that. Okay. I promise.
Hey, it's
I'm
word of
crappy with names
advice.
as well.
Hey, good trick to never have to remember names. You just give everyone a nickname, or you just use, a typical name. You say whatever.
Can I call you?
This is when I sort of thought of a joke. Remember that the cougar, the salty cougar, has always been on edge and harassed by the red militia. So I was like, okay, you're dressed in red. Can I call you Red Guy? And then
Red Guy.
Feller, you know.
Like red. Like maybe
I am-
red.
I am-
Red militia or
I
something.
am-
Oh, sorry.
What? No.
Oh, what the?
What?
How high does that mountain go? You think it could kill me if I jump off it?
that was a little bit of a joke. I felt like I wanted to put that forth, but honestly, that was also a risk. I realized it much later. Like I was like, oh shit. That could have been taken as an insult because of their past, their past with the Reds. So I was like, Jesus. But okay, good that they took it the right way. You know what I mean?
Oh, by the way, here's my brother.
Hello. Oh, sorry, I had business
Oh,
to take care
hello.
of.
Ah, well,
Sounded
nice to
pretty
meet you.
agile.
Welcome to Cougar Town.
So, thank you. I've been here before, when it was called something else.
Yeah.
Your bowel's okay now, Rory?
Let's not talk.
I love this is like what Maddie and we did great together. Like we had such a good rapport. It was almost like we were true brothers in a way. We were like always giving ourselves shit and like it just bantering, but it created sort of an atmosphere where it felt like the other was, your real brother, And it was it was fun for me too because I've never had a brother. So it was like really fun to get into this role, you know what I mean?
I will let. What's your name again?
Yuri.
It's Yuri.
Yuri.
Oh, I said Yuri.
Oh,
and you said
Yuri
it
is
wasn't. Why you
Sorry.
confuse me like that? Fuck. I'm not
I
even
said
high
when
enough
it was.
today for that. God.
Geez, nobody knew names around here.
Yuri Ramovic, as in the guy doing the General Assembly?
That it would be true.
Wait a second.
Right.
Yuri Ramovic.
Yep.
And if you ever want to earn money, like fucking look out for a guy called Floki and capture the fucker. Or Yuri Ramovic or Dmitry Ramovic.
Yep. The same guy that Alex Woods told us about.
So.
Oh, Yuri's the only one left from the Red Militia, right?
Mm-hmm. That's why he needs to die.
That's right. Alex Woods had told us about him, how he had once been part of the Red Militia, and how Alex had wanted us to either capture or kill him and his brother. This was, however, a long time ago, and I hadn't seen Alex in a long while. I knew the Arbiters were acting friendly towards us Burlees, and in all honesty, here I actually had an opportunity to reciprocate on that friendship. I just needed to get him alone.
Honestly, if I hadn't been such a bad role player, I mean, some people might think I'm a good role player, but I'm really not, because I always try to avoid conflict. I always try to act, and I'm very bad at like putting myself into a role that isn't natural to me. So that results in me almost always playing myself, which isn't ideal when you want to, dive into the full scope of role playing. So honestly, here, if I'd been a good role player, I could have actually acted on this and killed or captured Yuri. Maybe even like get a scheme going to capture him with Rory or something. Because in all honesty, that would have made for like really interesting content. But on the other hand, I didn't want my character. I wanted my character to be fairly upstanding. He wasn't shady. He wasn't like, I mean, it wouldn't have done me any favors by making him into someone who does the bidding of Alex Woods. The Arbiters, yeah, it's great that they like us, but I never really wanted him to... I wanted him to try to stay friendly with everybody, And also, there's also an in-lore reason, which I'm about to monologue about why I didn't do it.
Even if this hadn't been Yuri, I couldn't really imagine that a unified Deer Isle was something that the Arbiters would welcome with open arms regardless. But Yuri seemed to have transitioned from a communist militia member to be someone who sought peaceful unity among the factions. And personally, I felt that whatever promoted stability for Deer Isle was good for all of us. I weighed the pros and cons, but quickly decided to discard the opportunity.
Yuri Ramovic. And there was another guy called Dmitry Ramovic.
He is my brother, but I don't know where he's gone, and to be honest, I don't really care to run after him.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Alright. Alright, shall we get moving?
Killian, I want to have a little chat for one second.
A little chat?
Alright, take care, guys.
Just one after a fucking... Oh. Hey, you too, guys. Stay safe.
Adios.
We'd wasted a lot of time at Cougar Town, but we kept going north regardless. I couldn't keep my curiosity under wraps, and I knew that Rory was itching to meet the scientists as well. He'd been very vocal about how he wanted in on the fight against Warlock, and the scientists were people who might have the answers to Warlock's identity as well as origins, knowledge which could prove vital to our efforts. As we approached Waldoboro, we suddenly heard it.
You hear the sirens?
No.
Come over here.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep. Is the bunker opening? What the fuck is that?
The sirens were blaring again. This could only mean one thing. The bunker door was either opening or closing. And since I had already heard the scientists transmitting on the outside, it seemed likely that they were on their way back to the bunker. If we wanted to catch them, we really had to hurry.
Yeah, wait.
It stopped.
Yeah, it just went off.
Yeah.
In Waldoboro, we crossed paths with another group of people, individuals wearing blue armbands.
Alright. Okay.
Since we were in a hurry, we had to keep on going, but I remembered overhearing something that had been mentioned in passing at the Cougar.
I think it was also mentioned here in Waldoboro by Michael and Dobby. I think they weren't they the ones who talked about the blue armbands, or maybe it was at the Cougar. It's not important actually.
That was blue armbands though, and I remember they said something about blue armbands.
Who said something?
Last time I was awake, people said that people with blue armbands had been robbing people. Yeah.
Overuse of the word people.
The raceway wasn't too far away from Waldoboro, so we figured we'd head there first, and if no one was there, would make a beeline for the bunker itself.
What base is this?
Okay, honestly, this I could have cut out. I know that.
I don't recognize the flag.
This is actually not important.
I think that's
not,
just some rando.
Not really.
Oh,
not really important
here.
I got curious, so I wanted to stop and read the bulletin board and whatnot.
Jacob Combs, we're interested in hearing more about your ideas. Okay, and this one says free clinic and medical supply. Oh, okay. Richard Gagnon. What that is. Oh, hey, they stole our flag. Look at that. Oh, for fuck's sake, the hippie towers stole our flag too. God damn it.
Just because they're using the same, like, vanilla type flag as we are.
We had just left Waldoboro and were climbing the first hill towards the racetrack when we came across someone in the wilds.
Oh, Jesus.
Hello. Okay.
Didn't even see him.
Hello.
Oh. That's not... Is that camera?
One of the lamplight guys. Hey.
Negative.
Oh, okay.
Just to be aware, we heard rumor. Wait, is that Sergey?
Sergey!
Yeah.
Sergey always had, like, the Russian flags on his helmet. It's ironic as well, because Yuri Ramovic, he was, like, really speaking with a Russian accent. Sergey did not. He was, like, completely... He sounded so American. I don't know if he was just, you know, like, like, he was playing a Russian character, but didn't bother, like, trying to add an accent or anything.
Hey! It's the Burleys.
Saw the Russian flag.
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Hey, just an FYI, we heard rumor, or Robin heard rumor, that there's some blue armbands robbing people, and we just ran into them down the road over there.
Well,
it's actually interesting because every member that we knew from New Duskar, once it turned into Cougar Town and the old leadership left, every member that we were like on a first name basis with, Sav, Cameron, Sergey, I think someone else, all of them joined Lamplight. They just basically, all of them went over to Lamplight. I'm not sure why. That I never really got explained to me.
Be fair, this intel is a couple of days old, so it might not be them, but there are blue armbands, like, down the road.
Yeah, bright blue.
Alright.
Bright blue, yeah, exactly. Just to...
I'm gonna get on moving back to base. Thanks for the info, though, boys.
Yeah, no worries.
Take care. Be careful.
Yeah, you too. Give my best to
Where
Cameron.
you coming from?
I will. I'm glad to see you guys are doing alright.
Yeah,
You too.
I sent Cameron a little gift, a little charred flesh of Jose. I don't know if you ever got it, but...
Nah, I saw that the Arbiters did him in, though.
Yeah, they gave me his arm. So I sent it along with some of Cameron's belongings back to. Well, I gave it to.
Did we have beef with Jose? I think I said Jorge before. I don't know. But Jose, did we have did the Burley brothers have beef with Jose? I mean, I guess in a way we did because basically they took me and or Jose and that Dr. Ivan guy took me and Cameron hostage. Although they let me go and Cameron, well, we don't know what happened to Cameron. Apparently he escaped story-wise. We know what happened out of character. But yeah, so I guess in that way they've already proven to be not really that friendly with us. So I was just thinking, like, was there a reason as to why we wanted Jose gone, like everybody else wanted? And yeah, there was.
A couple. I think I gave it to Sav and some other guy. I don't remember.
He was gonna give it to me first. Sick fuck.
Yeah, but no, I didn't think you would need it.
Alright, boys, be careful. The bunker,
Yeah.
the bunker has been opened twice now, so
Yeah, we heard
keep
that.
your wits about you.
Yeah.
Now we heard
Yeah.
something about Watcher. Is that what it was called?
No, observer. Something that was like watching the scientists. Have you met these scientists, guys?
We literally just came back from that. Like,
okay. We were
like
trying.
that's literally just what we were doing. Like,
okay.
we met them up there at that racetrack.
Yeah, we were gonna go there and see if they were still there and like maybe talk to them.
Nah, they left.
Aw.
They bounced already.
Are they in the bunker again?
Is there any danger?
Probably. They were pretty far up ahead of us.
Oh, okay.
How long ago was that?
Well, shit.
Like 10, 15 minutes ago.
That's not too.
I think we could actually meet him, cut him off there if you wanted to meet him.
I mean, I want to get to the bottom of this. We could always try.
Sure.
Did they say when they're gonna be emerge next time?
Gonna be emerged.
No, I think they did, but I couldn't hear.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, I think Sergey, like some people, I don't want to mention, Taylor, Jack, don't really pay that much attention to lore. They're like, you know, looking around during important meetings. They're not like they're not exactly attentive, you know. I think, call me crazy, but I think Sergey is one of them.
Alright, boys. I'm gonna get going on back to base. I got shit I gotta do.
Do that. Yeah, I know. Guard duty, right?
Nah.
Okay.
Not anymore.
I gotcha. Alright. Take care, man.
Stay safe, boys.
Hey, you too.
As Sergei had told us that the meeting at the raceway was over, we changed destination and began running up Mount Katahdin in order to reach the bunker.
Okay, keep this in mind now. This whole trek up the mountain, I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later. But keep this in mind. Look at our journey up there.
Seeing that Sergei had joined Lamplight didn't surprise me. The guy was a hands-on type of person who got shit done, and while he had mostly stood sentry at New Duskar, I was willing to bet that Lamplight would be able to find better uses for his talent. Lately, with all the mutant activity, Lamplight has started to swell in numbers just like the Arbiters had a while back. Abductions by Warlock and mutant talk over the radio had ignited fear in people's minds.
Honestly, this road up the mountainside was so fucking long. That's kind of like what I like with Deer Isle, because it's realistic. We had to really go along the entire road because the side of the mountain is so steep that you can't really climb just straight up from wherever. You have to really follow the road.
And once something scared you, it was usually a natural reflex to seek refuge with the polar opposites of the problem. In this case, it would be the outspoken mutant-hunting Lamplighters. Charon was now commanding a small army, and with people like Gil, Cameron, and Sergei, Lamplight was now a force to truly be reckoned with.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you now. For some reason, I don't actually remember why, but there was some reason I do remember, and actually I remember doing it. There was some reason why the footage of me and Rory going up the mountainside didn't make it into the final product, the final episode, because of some weird reason. I actually had to do the trek up the mountain on my own, and I did it on my private test server. So this is actually different footage, which I just spliced in to, make it seem that we actually have gone the entire way up. We did, for all intents and purposes. The first time around, we did go all the way up. But I don't remember why. But I did actually reshoot it. If you'll check now, I mean, if you want the unspoiled, immersive version, you can just watch the entire Blood Ties episode 28 Ground Zero on my YouTube channel in the DayZ role-playing list without commentary. But this is the commentary track where I'm talking about, how I did stuff. And this, as you can tell now, we're not seeing Rory anywhere, and that is because this was me going up all on my own. I wanted it to look like Rory was still behind me, and that's why I'm always looking straight ahead now. I'm like, turning my head a little bit, but never like, 90 degrees or anything like that. I'm always like looking straight ahead because I didn't want to reveal that there was nobody behind me. So this is me just making an illusion of us two heading up the mountain. But once we get to, I think the gate, the guard booth by the bunker, I cut back to the footage, the actual footage from Survivalists. So this is basically just filler, which works to show what I want you to see, basically.
Closing in on the top of Mount Katahdin after a long and winding uphill run, we could eventually see the signs of the outer perimeter of old-world military nature. This was it. We'd finally reached the outskirts of the restricted bunker area. This was allegedly Warlock's domain, a secret facility where he could concoct his insane experiments hidden from the rest of the world. According to Harold, however, it also served as the home of the scientist group led by Dr. Carr. How these two groups lived separately from each other and managed to avoid one another, I had no idea. But supposedly, the bunker was a massive complex of tunnels, living quarters, laboratories, and storage vaults which spread out underground like a honeycombed labyrinth of secret facilities. So it wasn't completely impossible to think that the underground was split into multiple groups, same as the overworld was.
As you can see here, this is when I switched back to the footage actually on the Survivalists. Now, I want to say about the whole lore situation as well, it was always a little bit confusing to me because I had to explain it. As you can hear, I'm doing a lot of exposition. I'm talking about speculations and about how everything was. Like, the whole situation, I never got a clear answer from people who were in the know about the situation at the bunker. Like, they had two separate entities living in the bunker. They had Warlock, supposedly that's where Warlock was, or that's where he came from, and he was now somewhere else. But for all intents and purposes, I got the impression that Warlock was in the bunker, but the scientists were also in the bunker, and Warlock was not a part of the scientists, but they were both living in the bunker. And I was like very confused about that. So I had to make up some things that I drew my own conclusions. So basically what I'm saying here is I'm guessing that the bunker is just so large that Warlock occupies one part of it and the scientists live in another part of it. I remember Harold told me that the scientists live in a part that nobody else can access. So my saving grace was that perhaps Warlock had been a part of the scientists and then he'd been kicked out and he wasn't able to reach them. If that was the case, then my theory about Warlock, or Harold's theory about Warlock being originally being Dr. Joshua Revitt would track. But you see how much we have to guess? We have to like put things together. And this is the danger of actually doing a role-playing series, because the only story you can control is your own story. But you want to have sort of an overarching narrative point of view. And when you need that, you also need all the facts from everything else. Like every other faction, you need to know so that you don't claim something that isn't true. That is a little bit of the annoyance of doing these roleplay series. A lot of that is like a big puzzle. You have to like fit the pieces together. Like I remember being on the Discord and what was it? If I've talked to some guy in game and I've recorded it and I'm going to use it in the role-playing series in the episode, but I never got the name. Or maybe I got the name Gary, and then like I need to know exactly which one because I want to ping that guy. And maybe I find like 3 Garys in the list. Or maybe the person playing Gary isn't even called Gary on the Discord or in the Discord. So there's a lot of like off stream and off series and offline research you have to do to get every little freaking detail correct. I've been sitting and searching words and events and stuff like that just to find people that I need to name drop in the series. It's crazy. But okay, here we go. We're finally at the bunker. Oh, and now we come to one of the things that I am the most proud of in this entire series. I think in anything that I've ever done with like role-playing series on YouTube, this, and also the ending of this show, but like in the final episode, but this thing, because I had my own private server, I could make this thing. If you see what's going to happen next and you're wondering, how the hell is he doing that? The answer is my private server. But yeah, this thing, which comes up here, the whole reflective thing about the Burley family, is one thing that I was really proud of how it came out. So here we go.
I think this is it, bro.
You're right.
As we approached the bunker, a faint, high-pitched audio signal suddenly caught my ears. It was coming from a small guard station just in front of the bunker complex. It was a radio signal. While Rory went to circle around to scout the perimeter, I opted to stay a while and listen.
You're gonna hear some lore fluff here. What I want to say is, partly I made this coming segment on my personal server, but this audio file that you're hearing here is actually not part of a mod that existed on this server. I had to splice this in. I had to record this from another server who used a mod which included this radio signal. I recorded that and copied it into my project and used it when I was editing this show. So it actually sounds like it's coming from this radio. I even painstakingly had to like keyframe movement of the sound so that it was coming from when Robin's going to move up here, you're going to hear it from the left side. I had to time it so that the sound was like coming from there, and then when he turns around, I had to make it so that it timed so correctly so that the sound had to follow along. This file, this monologue that you're going to hear from the news broadcaster or alert broadcaster is not part. It was actually not heard here. It's on another server, and it's a separate audio clip, which I input here. Just so you know.
This is a broadcast of the emergency alert system. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Officials in Washington, D.C., in cooperation with state and local authorities, have issued the following emergency bulletin. Due to the recent unfolding events, all remaining unaffected citizens are strongly urged to cautiously proceed to the nearest Army or National Guard facility. You will not be safe anywhere within the affected area. I repeat, if you are hearing this message, you are within the affected area and will not be safe anywhere.
Here it comes. Here it comes. The thing that was part of the whole thing, but that was not the thing that I was most proud of. The one thing that I'm so really proud of is this, and it's coming here.
The National Guard, in conjunction with the United States Army, will be setting up rescue stations at these locations to aid in the temporary evacuation of each of the affected cities and towns until the outbreak can be contained and other concerns can be eliminated.
Now,
if you cannot safely make it to the nearest Army or National Guard facility, please take refuge in the nearest Civil Defense bomb shelter, as the Army and National Guard patrols will be checking these sites consistently for survivors. Citizens found exhibiting signs of infection or found with open wounds will be quarantined and contained on site. Martial law has been declared and a mandatory curfew will go into effect at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, and will continue every night from dusk until dawn until further notice. If you are found on the streets after 8 p.m., you will be met with deadly force. I repeat, anyone found outside after 8 p.m. will be fired upon.
okay, I'm going to say this as well. Since this was on my server, these police vehicles and this roadblock and actually also the police zombies you see there, those were not even part of the map. I spawned them in.
By special order, this message will be repeated indefinitely until this emergency bulletin is rescinded. For all those who are left, good luck and Godspeed.
A heavy, somber mood of sympathy and sadness filled me as I listened. It was painful to hear this, a long-lost echo of the old world still crying out in a desperate plea for calm. The last message of a now non-existent government was still posthumously assuring the public that steps were being taken to contain the outbreak. But they were all dead now. The soldiers, the officials, the politicians, just gone. Lost to the torrents of an ocean of mistakes. Nothing left of the past but ruins, quiet skeletons bearing witness to the fall of a mighty nation and a testament to the hubris of the human race.
I really wanted to accentuate the feeling of, the tragedy of the fall of civilization. How it really felt now that we have nobody watching over us anymore. I mean, some people might consider that freedom, but we also don't have protection. We're just thrown to the wolves, basically,
Whatever this Joshua Revitt had concocted inside the bunker, it had drastically backfired, and erased human society in the making. And just like that, centuries of history and progress were gone, and we who were left behind have been cast back into the Dark Ages. No comforts, no assurances, just survival. But this discovery also made me breathe a little bit easier, because now it was pretty much confirmed what had happened. The rumors about the ships were finally more than just hearsay. Deer Isle had been evacuated. Our family had been evacuated. They must have been. I know Kathleen would have acted quickly, and Pa would almost certainly have been listening to the radio when all this shit went down. Putting two and two together, it meant that if they got this message, and I knew they would have left the islands.
See, this is sort of my attempt at giving Robin Burley closure with this little story arc about finding their family, because all the way up to this point, we'd actually started this this whole roleplay situation with the intent of including more people in our family eventually. Like, it would be sort of a recruitment idea that anybody who wanted to be a part of the Burley family would be like a long lost brother, or, you know, like something like that. And we would grow in that respect. But to me, it was also a narrative issue to have to sort of like round out, because we knew we were never going to find Ma and Pa, most likely not Kathleen, like a sister, and probably, you know, at this point, actually even earlier, we'd already come to the realization that it was basically just going to be me, like Robin, Rory, and Dex. Pretty much that was going to be the Burley family. We'd given up on trying to, like, this initial idea of recruiting other people as, oh, they are our long lost family members. We'd given up on that a fair while ago. We never really did that. We never really made any serious strides with that. So we decided to keep the family small, and the rest of the family to be an ongoing mystery, like what happened to them. And right here, Robin finally, in a sense, gets closure. It's not the closure that he wants, to use a cliche, but it is the closure that he needs.
I was convinced now that we would never see them again. They would almost certainly believe me and Rory to be dead. Hell, they probably had already held a wake for us. I could only take solace in the fact that they would not have died here, in this mutant-infested post-apocalyptic hellhole. And I sincerely hoped that they had indeed made it somewhere, where all of this was just a bad dream.
Oh shit, there's a big one. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say this as well. That whole time in the guard booth, that was also on my private server. It's a lot safer to record on your private server, because it is like an offline server, because you can spawn in any resources you need, any props you need, to fill in any like footage that you didn't get on the multiplayer server. It's really come in handy many times. I actually don't have access to that server anymore. I uninstalled it, and I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to build it up as well as I did at that time. But it really came in handy. And once I got back out of the booth, that's where I switched back to the footage with me and Rory.
Yeah.
And here you can see the custom-made props made by the admins. This is to denote that this is mutant territory.
This is Infestation City.
Rory joined me once more, and together we approached the bunker proper. We could see biological growths everywhere, the telltale signs of mutant activity.
Take up top. I'll go to the front door.
Okay.
Officially, the KMUC, the Katahdin Military Underground Complex, was a facility shrouded in mystery and secrecy. Built sometime during the Reagan years, when we were kids, we used to hear stories about this place and always imagined that it was untouchable. But thanks to Harold, we now knew that Joshua Reeves had been part of the scientists team stationed at this bunker, which essentially, for all intents and purposes, made this ground zero, the location where the outbreak had started.
That's what I always wanted. I don't even know if that was what the server was going for, if the admins wanted that to be the case, but I myself always found it plausible to believe that the bunker was like ground zero from where the Zulu virus had spread. I said Zulu virus because at some point on this server I heard it being referred to as such, but a lot of other people call it the Kuru virus. So it's like between Zulu and Kuru, I always found Zulu to be easier to say just because, or rather more logical to say because it starts with a Z, so like Zulu zombie. So I personally always preferred to refer to it as the Zulu virus. But I'm gonna say this as well. And I think that is why I remade the footage coming up the mountain. I think we actually came up the other side and entered the bunker from the other side. Right, I remember now. I had me and Rory re-record footage of us coming from the other side. Because, yeah, this is me being a director. No, I can't believe that Mehdi actually put up with this. This was one of my, like, no, it'll be much better if we come from that way. I wanted us to be seen going up the mountain, the official road, so that you'd actually see, because going up straight over the top and in is like coming in from the back door, and that doesn't really give the same build-up of suspense, as you approach the official gate and all that. And we had actually come from that direction, from the other direction, and you'll see it because I'm going to include it here as well, because we were ambushed by, not by players, but by, let's call them sentries, when we came from that direction. So I had to pretend or edit it in such a way that it looked like we've come from the official road, but then once again gone up to the other side just to scout a little bit more, and then come down again. You'll see it. It happens pretty much right now. You'll see.
It was not yet understood exactly what had been released in the Zulu virus, or how the other scientists have managed to survive the outbreak.
Because, as you can see now, we've already entered the bunker grounds. I mean, inside the bunker area, there's all this growth, so it's a little bit difficult to see, but it's basically a forested inner courtyard. But we have entered the bunker. There really was no real reason for us to go out and then go back up there. So I had to make something up. Yeah, we had to do some recon from a distance again, just to be sure. It sounds a little bit stupid when you realize it, but I think it worked pretty well.
But with any luck, perhaps we had a chance to get some answers here. I had my own theory, which built on Harold's assumption that Warlock in fact was Dr. Joshua Reeves. I theorized that perhaps the other scientists had kicked Joshua out of their habitation facility deep inside the bunker, and he, in fact, did no longer have access to the area where Dr. Carr and the others lived. Plain and simply, I wanted to know if Dr. Joshua Reeves was still a part of the scientist's team. If he wasn't, then Warlock's true identity would more or less be confirmed once and for all.
Tell you what, bro. Let's get on top of the edges and see if we can see clearly up there.
That was recorded for the sake of the series, for the sake of the episode. I needed that footage because it sort of patches things together, and Mehdi was such a good sport going along with it, you know? So we needed it to motivate us coming from the other side.
Yeah, it's quite a view.
Before
This is now the original time we arrived at the bunker. This is the original footage. So you see how I had to like rearrange everything and then redesign the story so that the events occurred out of order but actually made sense once you had proper motivation for them.
we made the final push into the bunker interior, we swept around and double-checked the place one final time. Rory had scouted the perimeter loosely, but we didn't want any surprises coming our way. And true enough, a surprise was exactly what we got.
And this is why I wanted to include this footage.
Why am I so cold? Wait, why am I so cold?
I'm cold too, actually.
Unless there's something near us.
Yeah. The thing on the server was that I think we confirmed it that when you're close to a mutant, your temperature either drops or spikes. And I think this was just supposed to be an ordinary room temperature day, basically. So there was something close by, and we'd soon find out what.
Oh, over there.
Apparently, the collective watchdogs were not going to let us in without a fight.
Oh, fuck. He's too far down.
And this is so much fun because Mehdi, playing Rory here, he gets so scared because he's going down the he starts going down the stairs, I think, or he's about to go down the stairs exactly when a guard dog comes up. So he gets, in real life, he almost shits his pants when that happens. You'll hear it happen because he'll comment on it.
Oh yeah, there's more dogs down there. Oh shit! Watch out!
Fuck me!
Got him.
Fucking scared the shit out of me, fucking piece of shit. Fuck.
With the dogs cleared, we gritted our teeth and entered the bunker atrium, heading for the only way down. After having side-skirted what looked like a giant missile silo, we finally saw the entrance.
Actually, I don't think that's supposed to be a missile silo. Or maybe it is, but it looks very strange because it's like... it's made out of stone, so it's really weird. But the chasm down inside is like going very far down. And I think it's part of the bunker. I think it's part of the bunker. Like once you're inside the bunker, in one place you can like be there and like look up, and you'll look up, you'll see the sky. I think it goes like down to the bunker floor, basically.
Gotcha.
And this is the entrance. Like the outer entrance, I guess.
Wondering if there's like mines or anything. This where the stairs are?
Oh! As we went down the stairway, the atmosphere got thick with the cloying odor of the biological growths. There was no escape from it here. I smothered every reflexive cough for fear of making a sound. For all we knew, there could be surveillance equipment like cameras and microphones covering the passage. I also felt the weight of the significance pertaining to this place crushed down on me. If this truly was Ground Zero, then this was the very entrance into the hell that had spawned the walking corpses.
Dead dogs, dead dogs, dead dogs.
It's interesting. I realize that now, that he is actually Rory has removed his boots, which is a good tactical choice because you make pretty much no sound when you're barefoot. You can do it when you're indoors. There's no like real issue when you're indoors. But if you walk out barefoot outdoors, you'll cut up your feet like constantly. But in retrospect, I should probably have taken off my shoes here as well. I just didn't really reflect on that. We know that dead dogs means that people have killed these dogs. So honestly, we should have met more resistance here. But that only means that somebody's been here. And remember, we heard that door. No, we heard the sirens before. I think it was somebody coming here and opening and closing the door. I think that's when these dogs died, because somebody killed them at that point. And they still hadn't despawned. This was the very, very, very first time I ever laid eyes on the bunker door. The big inner entrance to the bunker itself. On Deer Isle, this is a door that will only open if you get a hold of a special key card, which I think you get a hold of on the oil rigs. They drop on the oil rigs because they are like high-level loot. And the only way to get in through this door is with that key card. But we were banking on the fact that this is a role-playing server and there might actually be a constant presence of an admin here that could act as sort of like an intercom or a camera system that could like see us, and we'd be able to contact them that way. So we didn't really put much stock into the fact that on most maps you do need a key card to open the door. We thought that maybe they'll be able to hear us or notice that we're here and open the door, you know, or something.
That must be the bunker.
I remember how fun this was. We were really, like, both me and Maddie, this was the first time we ever came this far. This was the first time we saw the bunker, you know. It was exciting. We'd only heard it talked about, you know.
See what looks to be an intercom.
As we finally reached the massive blast door, we stopped just short of it and stared at it. Behind this steel slab lay the interiors of the bunker, the snaking tunnels and blast-proof vaults containing anything from living scientists to mutants to maybe even Warlock himself somewhere. We didn't know, but we knew that behind this were answers.
Hello?
I think this thing, I mean, it looks like an intercom, so we had no idea. We literally had no idea how to, like, communicate, if it was possible to communicate with people inside or anything like that. So this was, like, brand new territory for us. But I think this thing is the place where you actually use the key card that you find on the oil rig on normal, like, you know, basic servers. I think, in fact, the colored number here shows what level of key card you have to have. Because I think Deer Isle has like different levels of key cards, like 1 through 4 or 5, something like that.
Hello.
Throwing all caution to the wind. Hello.
This place is giving creeps.
It did, actually. It really did.
Anybody here?
We're the Burley Brothers. We're seeking audience. Is this some Wizard of Oz shit?
But as we also took in the sheer enormity of the giant bunker door, we knew that it was not going to open for us. Not even 100 satchel charges were going to make as much as a dent in this thing. No one was around, and no one answered our calls on the intercom. We had been too late.
Yep. And that is, I think, mainly because we wasted too much time in Cougar Town. Remember, we stayed there and talked and talked and talked, and that was great. That was good that was fun role play because we were staying in character and we were having a good conversation with people and some such. But it takes time to do that. Like, conversations are time killers, basically. When you're standing around talking with people, it's good for moving the plot along because you can actually get some information that you weren't privy to before. But it also takes a lot of time to go through this subject matters and, you know, react in proper ways, and, you know, having to position yourself to actually basically act on the information that you're given and all that. It's like a mental puzzle when you do that, and then there's a big chance that you'll be distracted and staying there because you're having such a good time talking to people. And as you could have maybe you could have told you could tell that I was standing there and we were all being polite and we were having a good time and we were laughing a little bit and stuff like that. That is 100%, in my opinion, what made it so that we didn't catch up to the scientists in time. If we hadn't done that, I think we would have made it. But we didn't.
The door must have closed when we heard that siren.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Exactly.
Either they can't hear us now, or they just don't give a shit.
Yeah, I probably don't give a shit, honestly, because, I mean, we heard them when we were coming up.
I didn't hear them,
I heard
but
them
I don't doubt you.
Yeah. When we review the footage, right?
Alright, well, we know where the place is now. I say we hit the road. Alright.
Daylight.
I like the fact that there's a set of stairs going down, and then there's like the proper bunker entrance underground. But I don't like the fact that the prop being used for the stairs is this guard tower, because this is actually a guard tower which has been placed so that the upper deck of the guard tower is located on ground level, as you can see. This whole inside the fence here, that's where a guard would like be patrolling. Mainly, I mean, I have no problem with the structure itself, but what I don't like is the fact that the guard tower the fence doesn't have an opening, which makes it not really immersive, because how the hell was it designed so that people can't really, they have to jump over a fence all the time? I didn't like that, but barring that, everything else was fine.
Again, smells like shit, but at least it's daylight.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Frustrated at having missed our opportunity, we decided to leave. I wanted to get out of the area before any of Warlock's more capable cronies showed up. The trail of the scientists had gone cold right at the bunker door, leaving us to assume that they were once again cozy down in their quarantine zone. But it hadn't been a day wasted. At least now, we had intel on the layout of the bunker, which up to this moment had only been spoken about in hushed voices. More to the point, knowing that the scientists were still alive and kicking down there was another optimistic sign of things to come, as it reassured us that we weren't all just laymen stumbling in the dark with test tubes and hoping to get lucky, but real educated people in the biochemical sciences were around, and we could be comforted in the knowledge that they were working hard to find a cure for the Zulu virus. I had also shared the contents of the emergency alert system with Rory, and we both agreed. There was now a good chance that our family had actually made it. No, all in all, I'd say the day had turned out pretty sweet.
Yeah, the thing is, this episode really gives closure to a lot of the open-ended questions that we had. We found out that the scientists are working on the case. They're trying to find a cure for beating back the Zulu virus infection. We got closure with what the hell had happened on Deer Isle. That the fact that Deer Isle had actually been evacuated. Remember, that was a mystery since episode 1, when I came ashore and went into Stonington and found the city abandoned. That was like a very long like a long lasting question that Robin had pondered up to this episode, where he finally got the closure with about that, and which also leads to the third resolution of the fact that yes, he hadn't found his family except for Rory, but with the news that Deer Isle had been evacuated, he could more or less draw the conclusion that his family had been saved. At this point in time, I was realizing that I need to sort of wrap this story up soon. I can't be doing this for too long, so I'm going to have to wrap up a few story arcs. And true enough, Ground Zero, this episode has a lot of closure. The series would continue for about 6 more episodes. And there will be interesting content in several of them. But as for some of the most long-lasting story arcs, personal story arcs for the Burley family, this was one where we could officially tie the knot.
As it was a long journey home, Rory and I decided to hunker down in an old residential ruin a few mountaintops away. Despite
tie the knot of not just tie the knot completely, tie the knot for a lot of personal missions.
Proximal danger. We both needed some rest to gather our strength before heading back home.
Alright, this will have to do then for the night. Clear. Fine, you have to get with it. You have to say second floor clear. Come on.
Yeah, it looks clear.
Alright, well, put it out.
Has a sleeping bag now.
All I have is like a...
My brother is not a military man, you know?
Oh yeah.
Waterproof clothing bag. Guess I could use that as a pillow, maybe. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, yeah, look at my pillow. Well, good night, bro.
I'm gonna say this. I never, ever liked those sleeping bags. They were blood-stained and disgusting, and they just looked like a segmented larval body. I always hated those sleeping bags. Hated them with a passion. There were so many other sleeping bags, actually, I think, on this server as well, that I could use, or that that was available. So I never, ever wanted to use those sleeping bags. I'll go on record saying that. Gonna have to
Hearing
put
my
up with
brother's
this snoring.
snoring once more told me on an instinctual level that all was well. I soon followed his example and went to sleep knowing that despite the horrors of the present, the future was not as devoid of glimmers of hope as I had once thought.
Exactly. Yep. There we go. That is it. That was episode 28, Ground Zero. And one of the episodes which I had most fun in making, but also because of the creativity, especially of that reflective moment where the audience takes off and, like, you know, you can see all parts of Deer Isle as the whole military alert broadcast is being heard, sort of connecting the past with the present. I loved doing that. That was really creatively fun for me to do. At the same time, this was also one of those episodes that were horrendously difficult to put together because of, like I told you, the footage that I had to re-record on my private server and then, like, rearrange stuff. It was definitely the most tasking episode, or one of the most tasking episodes to put together. There were times when I really didn't know if I was gonna be able to pull through with episode 28, but it eventually everything clicked into place. But that just goes to show that sometimes in video editing, which I now am, by the way, a video editor, a professional video editor. I have my degree! Yay! Sometimes, as a video editor, like, you have to think outside the box. You have to be able to put the puzzle properly, you know? But yeah, that was episode 28. Next time, and I'm not sure when we're going to be doing next time, when we're going to do roleplay review next time, because tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday, and the weekend is basically my time off from streaming. And next week is console week. So next week we're going to be sitting over there, and we are going to be playing a console game for the entire week. So we'll see when we do Blood Ties, the roleplay review version of it again. But I will say, oh, by the way, I think I know which game I'm going to be playing next. Next week during console week. If my Wii is up to specs for streaming, which I think it is, should be able to use the Elgato capture card for it, then I will actually... It's about time that I continue the Metroid Prime saga. In part because I've seen that Metroid Prime 4 has just been released. Or, well, a few weeks ago. And people have been talking about it and reminding me, actually, that we've only gone through the first Metroid Prime, and I always had the intention of going through all the Metroid games. And I think we went through Metroid Prime even before I did this role-playing series, like maybe 2020 or even 2019, something like that. So it's about time. I'm considering doing Metroid Prime 2, which is Echoes of something, I think. Anyway, but I wanted to just mention something about episode 29 of Blood Ties, which is called Diverging Appetites, for a specific reason. Partly, it's a little bit controversial episode 29, because I risked myself being kicked off the roleplay server because of it. Because of how I edited it. Because what is in episode 29, I guess... No, it isn't, but it could technically be seen as ERPG, meaning erotic roleplay. But the thing is, I recorded it with a fully grown female, a fully grown woman. There was no like underage stuff, which is basically the reason why you're not allowed to do ERP on roleplay servers. We were both like consenting to this, and it was basically you didn't even see anything, and most of the things that I put in was from outside. So everything that I have edited into it is more or less third-party stuff. And it doesn't, you don't really see anything either, and it's a very quick moment. So, but if you want to check it out, join my Discord, and I'll be letting you know when and what we're gonna do what. My Discord is reachable through this link. You can go there, and you'll always be able to get the latest news and updates regarding regarding the channel. And yeah, so we'll see when we do that. I will let you know on the Discord, like I said. Maybe we'll even do it this weekend, but I don't think so. I want to try to keep my weekends a little bit free. But if I'll do it this weekend, then I will let you know in the Discord. Scout's honor. But yeah, that is it for tonight. If I don't see you this weekend, then I will see you next week when we will reposition ourselves over there for another console week. And this time it's going to be Nintendo week. And probably. And in that case, we'll do Metroid Prime 2. In order to continue that story arc or progression, gameplay progression. But until then, until we see each other again, I mean, remember to, yeah, have a great weekend. And also remember to stay safe, mind social distance, and always keep the retro legacy alive. This is EagleBite83 wishing you the best. Take care, good night, and goodbye.